Oh, I need glasses. Ah, shit.
So is that working now?
Yes.
Okay. So it's 7:01. I'm going to call a meeting to order. Does anyone have any written disclosure of pecuniary conflict of interest? Sandy?
No, I don't.
And Heather?
No, I don't.
And Dan?
Dan disappeared.
Dan, yeah. Where'd he go?
Maybe there's
He
a
was
problem with the
here.
internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw him there.
Gremlins.
We'll wait a few minutes.
Yes.
Yeah, because maybe he's having the same problem Jeff is. Oh, there he is.
There. Hi, Dan.
Hi, sorry about that. Lost my connection.
I just asked if anybody had any written disclosure of pecuniary conflict of interest.
I know I don't.
No? Okay, thank you. I'm going to take attendance. Although I can see everybody, that's what we're supposed to do. So Councillor Olmsted, are you here?
Present.
And Councillor Cross?
Here.
And Councillor Maxwell?
Present.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is petitions and delegations, of which we have none. After that, we have number 4 is reports from municipal officers, of which we have none. After that, we have number 5, reports from committees, of which we have none. And then we have action letters. A is opening remarks from the chair, Mayor Pennell, that would be me. I just have a little something that I'm going to read. I say, good evening. I would like to welcome the 2 candidates, Bart and Christine, who have put their names forward to fill our vacant seat on council. As you all know, being a councillor is a very important role, which comes with responsibilities and duties that can be very rewarding, but at the same time requires dedication and a time commitment for reading and research in order to make informed decisions about the issues that are brought before us. We are responsible to our ratepayers and to the public and must be above reproach, be accountable for our actions, and behave professionally both in our public and private lives. I would like to thank you again for putting your name forward to take on this very important and valuable role for our municipality. So thank you. So the next item on the agenda is B, acknowledgement of received applicants. There were 3 applicants, but only 2 have are present at tonight's meeting. So can we? I'm not quite sure what we do if with Mr. Latimer not being here. Can we just take his name off of the list, Cindy?
Is council okay if we just do that?
Are you okay, Councillor Olmsted?
Yes, I am.
Councillor Maxwell?
Is it legal? Is that the as long as it's the proper procedure.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be a bit upset if he's trying to dial in and can't get through.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know the answer to that. I haven't received, just check my email. I haven't received an email. He did indicate to me that he was coming. He did register earlier today, all indications were that he was coming, but unfortunately, I don't know why he's not here.
He wouldn't have gone to the hall, would he?
And in terms of amending the motion, as long as council agrees to the amendment first and then goes through with the motion, that's the proper procedure.
Are you in agreement with the amendment, Councillor Olmsted?
Yeah, I wish we could make a phone call. I hope he didn't have internet issues, but I'm sure he could have called. But no, I have no problems with the amendment.
Councillor Cross, are you in favor of the amendment?
Yes, I am.
And Councillor Maxwell, are you in favor of the amendment?
Yes, I am.
Thank you. I am as well, so we'll proceed. Okay, so I'm going to need a mover and a seconder for this. So Councillor Cross, can you move this one, please?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And Councillor Maxwell, could you second it, please?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. So we have this resolution moved by Councillor Cross and seconded by Councillor Maxwell. Be it resolved that the following candidates who have signified in writing their interest in being appointed to the vacant councillor seat be considered for appointment to fill such vacancy. Number 1, Bart Castellan. I think I'm saying that correctly. I hope so. And the second is Christine Shipman. Okay. Any discussion on that? Councillor Cross.
No discussion.
Councillor Maxwell?
No, other than I consider we didn't give him enough time to dial in.
Oh, wait, she put her hand up.
Mayor Pennell?
Cindy has her hand up.
Okay, Cindy?
Mr. Latimer is wanting to join the meeting. Are you okay with him joining? Council okay with him joining the meeting?
It'll be up to council. I'll ask council that question. Councillor Cross, are you in favor of admitting Councillor Latimer at this time?
Yes, I am.
And Councillor Olmsted, are you in favor?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and Councillor Maxwell, are you in favor?
Yes.
Okay. So, is Mr. Latimer present?
I amend.
Yes.
Okay.
Jeff Latimer. Hello, Jeff. Hello, Jeff. Can you hear us?
Wally went in. Wally, lay down.
Mayor Pennell, would you like me to try and call him and see if I can help him along?
If you wouldn't mind, please.
I know getting used to Zoom was hard. Your back still bad, Dan?
Yeah.
Did you do something to hurt it, or it just goes out on you?
Have a bad back start, but yeah, I heard it more than usual this spring. Too much camp work, too much lifting. But
Maybe you need an adjustment.
yeah, I had a CAT scan done yesterday. So I'm waiting to see what the doctor says about that. because I thought this meeting would be very quick, actually.
Okay, they're going to try and call in to get the audio. I've given them the information, phone number, ID, and password.
Okay, thank you.
I've been doing all day too, doing mosquitoes.
No, it's that time of year.
At least they're honest. Those black flies are evil little things. You don't even know they're biting to you thin, and then you have a big hole in you.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I've been trying to get my garden in. Got most of it in this week.
Oh, good.
I know it's a bit early,
I got
but
mine in. It has to be. We can't have like 30 degrees with humidity tomorrow and not have our garden in.
yeah. Get things going.
Yeah. We're almost done my arena.
Wow. So
Yeah.
I see that. I planted corn last week. I see the corn's popping up. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Kind of exciting.
My corn's about 4 inches high.
No way.
Started it in the house. Yeah. Yeah. I got three good rows of corn.
Wow.
I think I was a little bit ambitious. I hurt. So we did that on Sunday. Monday, there wasn't anything that didn't hurt.
Wow.
Kids got me a nice little bench to, kneel on so I didn't have to go on the ground. It was just more getting up and getting down.
Find some
I'm sure it'll be
strawberries.
good. Oh, yeah.
You
Yeah, I've
should,
never tried strawberries
should-
before. I'm gonna try strawberries this year. Just for fun.
you should plant some pumpkins. The CWA is going to have a pumpkin contest.
Okay, I got 4 different kinds planted. My grandkids love pumpkins, so.
Okay. There's 3 different categories, so we're going to put out the flyer next flyer, I think.
Mr. Latimer, can you hear us now? Jeff? Jeff? Can you hear us?
Maybe tell him to try the other ear.
Hello, Jeff.
Oh,
Backward, sorry.
yep.
Yes.
Oh, yay.
Okay. He says he can hear us.
Okay. Can you say something then, Jeff?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Very good. Thank you. Okay. All right. So I just want to say, thanks for putting your name forward for this very important role with responsibilities. Can be rewarding, at the same time can require dedication and a time commitment for reading and research in order to make informed decisions. We're responsible to our ratepayers and the public, and must be above reproach and be accountable for our actions and behave professionally in both in our public and private lives. I'd like to thank you for putting your name forward to take on this very important and valuable role for our municipality. Okay. Next item on the agenda is the acknowledgement of received applicants. So there's 3 again. Sandy, can you still move this one?
Yes,
And Dan, can you still second this one?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Be it resolved that the following candidates who have signed in writing their interest in being appointed to the vacant council seat be considered for appointment to fill such vacancy. Number 1, Bart Castellan. Number 2, Christine Shippen. And number 3, Jeff Latimer. So is there any discussion on this? Councillor Maxwell.
Thanks everyone for signing up. No further discussion.
Thank you. And Councillor Olmsted?
No, thank you. No discussion, but yes, thank you for applying.
And Councillor Cross?
the same. No discussion.
Okay. So I'm going to call this resolution to a vote to accept these candidates for our vacant councillor seat. Councillor Cross, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
Councillor Olmsted, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
And Councillor Maxwell, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. So this resolution is carried. So next item on the agenda is each candidate shall have the opportunity to address council for a period of not more than 10 minutes. The order of speaking is indicated above, which would be number 1, Bart, first. Are you prepared to speak, Bart?
Yes, I am, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Can you go ahead, please?
Can you all hear me well?
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I have written down something that I would like to say because speaking ad lib is not my strongest point. So here we go. Good evening, Mayor Pennell, Deputy Mayor Cross, and Councillors Maxwell and Olmsted. It has been more than a year since you have seen me in person at the last physical council meeting. Mind you, that is not the last time I attended the meetings. I have since been following the proceedings from first via Zoom and subsequently via live streaming on YouTube. I have attended the council meetings since October 2014 at the start of the previous council's 4-year term, often, if not most of the time, as the lone occupant of the public gallery. I mention this as it shows my interest in the proceedings of local government, and it has given me a good understanding of the functions of council and the issues that council deals with. Also, as I mentioned in my letter expressing interest in the position of councillor, I think that the current young in age council would be complemented with a senior retired person to express the interests of the over 65 segment of the general population when it is applicable. A fast growing segment, I must add. We, my wife and I, moved to Kelvin in 2007 from near Toronto in search of a place where we could prepare for our near retirement. Shortly after we moved here, we regretted not making the move 20 years earlier. Kelvin is a lovely municipality with affordable taxation, at least in the eyes of a southerner, and very friendly neighbors. I'm not a person seeking controversy, nor do I seek to change Kelvin from what it currently represents. A rural community with wide open spaces and a local government that takes care of the basic needs: roads, landfill, recreation, fire, and sound financial stewardship. In that regard, I fully understand the financial pressures that local government experiences and the hard choices that sometimes must be made because of that. In closing, I hope Council will give me the chance to contribute to the discussions in future Council meetings, and I hope that we will soon be able to meet in person at the hall again with me at your discretion as a councillor. Regardless, you will continue to see me, so it might as well be as member of your team. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and councillors, for lending me your ear.
Thank you, Bart. Thank you very much. Christine, do you have a statement you'd like to make? I think you're on mute, Christine.
Yeah, it was. Yes, I do have a statement to make. Good evening, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak with you. As a military brat, as we're called, I've lived in multiple places for periods of 4 years or less. When we moved into Kelvin, I arrived with the same mentality that I did at every other spot. Stick it out, you will be gone in 4 years, make some new friends, and keep in touch with them once you've moved on. The reality is that I've lived in Kelvin for 21 years and have contributed to the community in a variety of ways over that time period. As a volunteer to the Recreation Committee, I assisted with the Dinners and Jams, Fall Festival, Family Fun Day, and the 2-day ball tournament. I have worked harmoniously with all the other volunteers and participants to ensure the events were well prepared, safe, and inclusive to all. I graduated from Canada College with honors in business management, and I feel that that will assist me in my dealings with staff and other counselors. and allow me to help support the municipality, its operations, and committees I may be privileged to be on. I have an extensive background in logistics with the Canadian Armed Forces, where I was a squadron quartermaster to a helicopter squadron and worked in the base supply sections. This position permitted me to fulfill different positions such as purchaser, rations, ammo, petroleum, oil and lubricants, clothing, computer, and stationary clerk for a community of 5,000 persons. I built a warehouse from the ground up to send to Haiti to support this squadron and spent over 7 months in country with them, utilizing what I had built. I was dealing with the population of the country in a purchaser capacity to acquire the items needed to fulfill our role while stationed there. I have spent 10 years working in retail environment in big box stores and small town convenience store. I've held many different positions, including the night crew supervisor, cashier, cross merchandiser, sales and recovery associate, in which all of the roles cross-trained into one another, allowing me to seamlessly move from one position to another. I spent time in lumber, seasonal freight, receiving, building materials, and customer service with the focus of it all. My military background has given me the ability to make friends easily, to adapt to change, be reliable, and keep confidences. My travels around the world and Canada have allowed me to see other ways of doing business that may be of some benefit to the municipality. I believe this, along with my other well-rounded ability, will allow me to be impartial to motions or issues and to discover all the sides and facts to it before making a decision that would be beneficial to the community. I am a dedicated, reliable, open-minded, outside-the-box thinker. I am tenacious and seek facts to ensure any decision I may make will be the wisest choice I can make at the time. I am a quick learner and believe that knowledge is the best way to come up with a decision in any instance. I believe I am capable of making a decision that may not be the favored decision, but is the right decision for all parties in question for the long haul. As a child, I had lived all over the country from west to east coast. At a young age, we moved to Europe for a period of 7 years. When I returned to Canada, I turned to the life I knew and joined the Canadian Armed Forces. When we moved to Calvin, I never could have imagined that I would remain here for 21 years and counting. As I said earlier, all my other homes were for 4 years or less. I believe I can give a new perspective to the council, and I hope that they will allow me to grow with them over the next few years. I'm confident that my education, employment history, and life experiences will allow me to support the municipality and its ongoing operational duties while maintaining the interests and well-being of the community and the public. I welcome any questions you may have for me, and I look forward to discussing my suitability with you all. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Christine. Jeff, would you like to take this opportunity to say something?
Pardon?
Would you like to take this opportunity to say something?
Okay. Well, I've been on council, was on council for 20 years, 14 years on the planning board. Lived in this township just about all my life. Know most of the people. And I always looked after the people in the West End. Other than that, that's about it, I guess.
Okay, thank you. All right, thanks very much, all. Our next item on the agenda is each candidate is going to be asked questions. And we'll start with, we have 3 prepared questions. And I'll start with Bart, as he's number 1 on the list. I'm going to ask Bart question number 1, then I'm going to ask Christine question number 1, and then I'm going to ask Jeff question number 1. And then so on and so on, Bart number 2, Christine number 2, and Jeff number 2, until we're finished, okay? So Bart, regular council meetings are held on the 2nd and 4th Tuesday of each month. It is important to be present does this day and time cause any kind of scheduling issue for you?
Well, Mr. Mayor, to that answer, you have seen me every second and every fourth Tuesday for the past 6.5 years. So I would definitely say it's absolutely not a problem for me.
Okay, thank you. Christine, same question for you. Regular council meetings are held on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month. It is important to be present. Does this day and time cause any kind of scheduling issue for you?
No, it does not. I can be there whenever you need me to be there.
Okay, thank you very much. And Jeff, same question for you. Regular council meetings are held on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month. It is important to be present. Does this day and time cause any kind of scheduling issue for you?
Not anymore. When I was on council before, I worked shift work, and usually I'd trade shifts or get guys to come in early. Second and fourth Tuesday is no problem at all.
Okay, thank you very much. Second question, I'll start with Bart again. What is your impression of how council and municipality are functioning at the present time, Bart?
I would say council members have, in general, a fair cooperation, and they seem to come to conclusions rather quick. Sometimes there is a little bit of an, I would say, extended speaking, but in general, council members do not how do I say that? I know the Dutch word, but in English, do not find themselves in very much controversy. They do cooperate very well, and of course, the contributions of Cindy and the staff is very, very important because of the preparatory work that she does, and that makes the work of the council a little bit lighter than having to do their own research. So I think current council is working well. I think current council is on the right way to keep Calvin a good, nice, solid community. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Bart. I'll ask the same question of you, Christine. What is your impression of how council and a municipality are functioning at the present time?
I think the council is functioning quite well. I'm very pleased and impressed that the taxes did not get raised over the last year. I believe that you are all working well together to make Calvin a better place and a greater place to live and work and retire in. You're polite, you're respectful, and have some great insights to some of the different decisions that have had to have been made in the last little bit. And you all attempt to work together to reach a decision that is for the benefit of the community. And I believe that that is something that should continue, and that I would really like to join and be part of that team if you'll have me.
Okay, thank you. And Jeff, I'm going to ask you the same question. What is your impression of how council and a municipality are functioning at the present time?
I think council's having a rough time right now. I think they're doing their best. And other than that, just keep at it, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Last question. I'll come back to Bart. Can you explain your understanding of a bylaw and if it is important to follow them exactly as written at all times?
The bylaw There have been in the past year, 2 years, there have been passed quite a few bylaws, and all of them have consequences. Sometimes, as we had in the past one time, where a current bylaw was written, and it was more difficult to come to a conclusion on a different bylaw. A bylaw is something that needs to be held to. When council writes a bylaw, it's law. Period. It's law. It must be followed up with. It must be written in stone. The procedure of passing a bylaw. Now that we have gone more to more than one meeting to pass a bylaw, so first and second reading in one meeting, and the third reading in a second meeting, gives councillors and the public more chance of inputting their comments, and also gives councillors more chance to think further about it. For me, that would be rather important, because I'm very much a secondary person. I do not always make up my mind the first time. I must think about it. I must definitely reconsider and talk to people and see what we are going to do. But a bylaw is law. It's period. It's that's what council has decided. So that's what we are going to act on.
Okay, thanks, Bart. Christine, can you please explain your understanding of a bylaw, and if it is important to follow them exactly as written at all times?
Bylaws are laws that the municipality or community makes to maintain a consistency in the business of running the council and the community, trying to make it equally safe and fair for all members. Bylaws are also a law. That's why they're called a bylaw. They're a law. They run under municipal guidelines and provincial guidelines, and they are enforceable, and they have penalties that go with them. And as such, laws need to be enforced and followed, and they can also be amended if necessary or if need be, but at the time it is a law, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
Okay, thank you. Jeff, I'm going to put the same question to you. Can you please explain your understanding of a bylaw, and if it is important to follow them exactly as written at all times?
Well, bylaws are a guideline for council to go by and staff. There is some bylaws that I voted against in the past because I didn't believe they were right. Bylaws can be amended, but it's a good guideline for council, and sometimes bylaws don't make people happy. Pretty much it.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Thanks all three of you, actually, Bart and Christine and Jeff, for those answers. If we move on to our next item on the agenda, item E says that council members will vote in an open session as the municipal clerk calls the candidates' names in alphabetical order. And alphabetical order is the 1, 2, 3 that we had above. Okay, so let's proceed to that stage. Okay, Cindy, please.
Did you just want to take a moment just for everyone to collect thoughts? And
okay.
We can proceed to
Yeah.
vote?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's take, it's 7:47 according to my clock, so let's take till 7:50, all right? That should be enough time to ponder what everyone has said. And then we can, move ahead with, item E. Okay, it's 7:50. We've all had a chance to go through the resumes that we were provided. And then tonight we've given each candidate an opportunity to speak with us for a few minutes. And we've also asked each candidate the same 3 questions. And they've all provided good answers, and now we have to determine which candidate we'd like to appoint as the next council for the Corporation and Municipality of Calgary. So according to this agenda, our clerk will state each candidate's name in alphabetical order, and then council members will vote in an open session as to if they're going to vote for that individual or not. Okay? Okay. So are you going to call the names, Cindy, or do you want me to do that?
I can do that. So, which, do we want a written, sorry, just before we do that, want a written, or do you just want a show of hands?
I think it should be a verbal.
So, would council members please indicate whether they would like to vote for Mr. Bart Castellan?
Okay, so we can start with Heather, for instance. Heather, can you tell us what your thought is, Chris?
I'm torn. I know Bart has been at every single meeting that he can. He is very involved. And yes, he does represent a large amount of our population. I really like the experience of Christine, though, too. So I think I'm going to pass on Bart, sorry. And no.
I didn't get your answer, sorry.
No.
No? Okay, thank you. Sandy? You're on mute,
Sorry.
Sandy.
Sorry. Mute, yes. All the answers were very well. Pretty much what I would expect from Mr. Castellan. He does represent a very big age group in Kelvin. There was a few key things I was hoping to hear, so I'm kind of torn, but no, I will not be voting for Mr. Castellan tonight.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Maxwell.
I'm happy that there's so much interest shown in the position, and I think that the candidates were really. I wish we had more positions than just one. I think I'm overall impressed with Bart showing up at all the meetings and showing an interest in his lifestyle of just wanting to know what's going on with council, and I think that he does, just the fact that he showed up to so many meetings, I think that gives him a bit extra weight with my my scorekeeping here. So I'll vote yes for Bart.
Okay, thank you. I kind of agree with what you're saying, Dan. I know Bart's been very dedicated over to when we were having the council meetings at the hall, and it didn't matter if it was 20 below or 25 above, he was there. I know that he is also watching the streaming. I think he had some really good ideas that he presented tonight, but I'm going to go a different way. Okay, so I'll vote no. But thanks, Bart.
Okay, next, will council please provide their votes on Christine?
Okay, so Councillor Cross.
No, I'm not on mute. Okay, I thought I muted myself. Christine had some really good questions that she answered very well. Very interesting background she has. I had an idea in the back of my head of a question, something I wanted to hear, and she definitely answered that question for me. So I will be voting for Christine tonight.
Councillor Olmsted.
I agree with Sandy. I put my vote for Christine.
Dan, you've already made your decision.
Yes.
I don't know Christine. I've never met her that I can remember. My mind's not as good as it used to be. But I don't ever remember speaking with her at any of the functions or anywhere, actually. I was impressed with some of the things she said this evening, and in her resume that I had a chance to look through a couple times on the weekend. So I'm going to put my vote behind Christine as well. I guess that kind of takes care of it, right? So we have I want to thank everyone though, for putting their names forward and subjecting themselves to this. It's not easy, and it's sometimes difficult to not be accepted for what you're trying to do. Okay, and I appreciate, and I'm sure the rest of the council does too, appreciate you all and your interest in council, and I hope you continue to support us going forward as you have throughout the past. So thank you for that.
Yes, thank you, everybody, for sure.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So our next item on the agenda is we're going to pass a motion to appoint the successful candidate. And I'll need a mover and a seconder for that, please. Last time we had, so Heather, can you move this one, please?
Yes, I can.
And Sandy, can you second this one, please?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. So we have a resolution moved by Councillor Olmsted and seconded by Councillor Cross, that Christine Shipman be appointed as councillor for the Corporation of Musqueam Calvin for the remainder of the term of council, 2018, the 2022 term of council. Any further discussion on this, Councillor Cross?
Cindy has something to
Just
say.
looking forward to it.
Okay, Councillor Maxwell?
Congratulations, Christine.
Thank you.
And Councillor Olmsted?
Yes, congratulations, Christine, but Cindy had her hand up for a second.
Oh, she's out of my screen. Can you go ahead, please, Cindy?
Sorry, I just need formal confirmation that Ms. Shipham accepts.
Yes, I do.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, so I think I've asked everyone if they're in agreement or had anything further to offer, and everyone did their congratulations. So the next item is now to bring this to a vote, that we accept Christine Shipman as our new councillor for the remainder of the 2018 to 2022 term of council. So Councillor Cross, would you vote yes or no?
Yes.
Councillor Maxwell, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
And Councillor Olmsted, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. So this resolution is carried. Thank you, everyone.
Welcome.
So I'll just read the next item here, and it's G. The appointment of the candidate will be made by bylaw at the next regular council meeting on May the 25th, 2021. The clerk will administer the declaration of office required by subsection 232(1) of the Municipal Act 2001 before or at the meeting where the bylaw is enacted by council. Okay? So I guess we'll move on. There's item number 7, information letters. There are none. Information letters, there are none. Old and new business, there is none. Council approval, nothing tonight. Closed portion, none tonight. Business arising from the closed portion, there is none. No notices of motion. So the next item on the agenda is the adjournment for this evening. So we should have a resolution for that. So I'll need a mover and a seconder for this one. Councillor Maxwell, can you move this one, please?
Yes, I can.
Thank you. And Councillor Olmsted, can you second this one, please?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So we have this resolution moved by Councillor Maxwell and seconded by Councillor Olmsted that this special meeting of council now be adjourned at 8:02 p.m. Any discussion? Councillor Olmsted?
No discussion.
Councillor Maxwell.
Only, will there be announcement put in on the app tomorrow, on the web, on our website? We'll be announcing it?
I'm not sure if I'm sure people would like to know. I just don't know if we do that before the oath of office. Cindy, what's your thoughts on that?
I will just word it. I will make the announcement. I will word it as such that this is, that Christine was appointed, and that she'll take her oath of office, and the bylaw will be passed at the next regular council meeting on the 25th.
Okay. Good question, Dan. And good answer, Cindy. Councillor Cross, any discussion?
No discussion. Just this is the earliest adjournment we've had in a long time.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to bring this to a vote that we adjourn tonight at 8:02 p.m. Councillor Cross, you vote yes or no?
Yes.
And Councillor Maxwell, do you vote yes or no?
Yes.
And Councillor Olmsted, you vote yes or no?
Yes.
I vote yes as well. So this meeting would be adjourned. I just want to say thanks again, everyone. See you later. Stay safe, all.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
Thanks.
Looking forward to working with you, Christine.
You
Yeah.
too.
Good night.
Night.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night. Oh, it's cold.